Order team, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max and I'm the channel host. A big thank you to my patrons for supporting me as this channel goes along, and a big thank you to everyone that's returning after watching previous videos of mine. For the second week running, I have got up early at 5 AM rather than 7 to watch a rugby game, and to be totally honest, I'm not surprised the French beat Ireland. They were playing at Stade de France. And yeah, I was expecting this to happen. France are looking like the complete package after 2 years of having their current coaching setup. They're looking very deadly, very dangerous, but so are Ireland. Ireland could still win the Six Nations. I'm going to review the game, talk about moments that happened, give my opinion on a few things as well as we go along. Things started off quite quickly this time. Romain Ntamack, he kicked off in the first minutes. First ruck is covered in bodies. This was a recurring theme throughout the whole game. The rucks were just being piled into 100%. The French, they launched quite a fast-paced attack off Dupont, who runs in to score off an Ntamack offload. Melvin Jaminet converts the first try to make the scoreline at 7-0. Still a very good offload by Ntamack to set up Dupont. 4 minutes after the siren goes to start the game, Ireland catch their kickoff and enter the French 22 metres quickly. Crash ball running by Bundy Aki gets them going. The forwards do the same thing, and they do hold possession for about a minute until Gabin Villiers collects the ball and kicks it back to Ireland's half. Villiers then wins the turnover pretty much straight away. Even Furlong cannot clear Villiers from the ruck, even though Villiers is a winger. Jaminet kicks the penalty now that France has won that turnover, and the scoreline is already 10-0 for France after just 6 minutes. In the 7th minute though, Ireland get themselves on the score sheet. Mac Hansen leaps into the air to show off his agility, and he's having to run past Pinot to collect this kickoff. So yeah, he grabs the ball totally mid-air, and he scores his first test try for Ireland in his second test match. So not too bad for the Australian, saying he's Irish. Joey Carberry in his first ever Six Nations start is able to convert the try, so France are beating Ireland by just 3 points at 10-7. In the 10th minute, Gael Fickou attempts to intercept a pass by Andrew Porter of all people. Fickou does lose it forward in the Irish half though. There's quite a few lineouts from this point onwards. And this concludes with Paul Willems winning a turnover inside the Irish half. Jaminet kicks this penalty for France and the scoreline's 13-7. I loved the way that the French just would not turn down any penalty chances. I love that they did that. All teams should be doing the same if you ask me. The team's kicking war ends with a penalty in the France. This is the 20th minute. Carberry kicks this one for touch. Ireland make quite a few post line-out meters until Ronan Kelleher knocks on. 22nd minute, there's a bit of a scrum. Porter collapses it, so France wins yet another penalty. After this, both teams go through 3 minutes of phases with ball in hand until Villiers kicks Hugo Keenan a touch. I think Hugo Keenan did a very good game from fullback. Ireland have definitely nailed him on as the first choice by this point. He's playing very good rugby. Ronan Kelleher though, which is very worrying, is subbed off in the 26th minute, and he gets replaced by Dan Sheehan, who's a bit of a rookie, so I was quite interested to see how he went. I think he went pretty well considering the circumstances and playing away and stuff. France's line-out in the 29th minute isn't straight. Both teams by this point have 4 handling errors already. 32nd minute, Anthony Gelange wins a turnover, which allows France to get a line out in the Irish half. France are looking ready to set up a play that will let them score, but Pinot ends up quite isolated on the wing, which I thought was a real wasted opportunity. I thought they were pretty much certain to score, but he just couldn't do anything with the ball, so he just has to kick it and hope it like he's a footballer, and the bounce of the rugby ball goes into touch. Finally, France get into the Irish 22 though. An amazing attack is unleashed. Ireland do get penalised at the ruck though, so Jaminet has to take yet another shot at goal. Ireland held pretty much all of the possession up till this point, so it was very difficult for France to score tries. Jaminet does kick this penalty though, so France are leading it 16-7. Jaminet, I think, was just brilliant, and it was an almost man of the match like performance. France in the 40th minute with a much heavier forward pack then dominate the Irish scrum in the Irish half. Jaminet kicks yet another penalty and the halftime score is 19-7. Look, Ireland, when they played against the All Blacks, absolutely dominated us on the forwards. So it was very interesting for me seeing the Irish pack get mauled so bad at scrum time by the French in the first half. I really was not expecting that one. Ireland's props are fit, but the French tight five is just a bit heavier, I think, eh? I'll take you through all the halftime stats. You can see them on screen. This kind of tells you a bit of a picture of how things went for the teams, and obviously I'll show you some end of match stats as well to go with it, since I didn't take a screenshot at halftime, sorry guys. So yeah, halftime starts, and in the 43rd minute, Ireland started with yet another penalty at the ruck. The penalties hurt the Irish pretty bad in this game, and if they didn't give away so many, they easily could have won. Jaminet kicks this one yet again. Scoreline is 22-7 for France, and in the 45th minute, Ireland finally have one awarded their way. Carberry's like, nah, look, we got a kick for touch this time, team. We're so far behind, losing by 15 points. And so they go to a 5-metre driving maul. It's Josh van der Fleer who goes over to score the try, and Carberry does manage to get the conversion, so the scoreline is now 22-14. Finally, things are looking a bit more positive for the Irish. They're no longer so far behind. They get into France's half shortly after the kickoff as well. Bit of an onslaught from here. This is through a Hugo Keenan line break. Again, Keenan was fantastic, I think. Jamison Gibson Park, who was robbed of an All Black cap, then manages to spot a gap in the French defence in the 50th minute. Paul Willemser is pretty much committed to the guy who's inside. And so yeah, he misses the tackle on Gibson Park, who runs in to score his second ever test try, and Carberry manages to convert this one, so France are winning by just 1 point, 22-21. Less than 30 minutes to go by this point, and so yeah, it's a bit of an exciting game at this stage. A bit of drama for the people in the stands at Stade de France. So 53rd minute. France get incredibly close to scoring while under advantage. Gabon Villiers also makes some massive hits before going wide to Penaud, and Penaud's offload goes to Anthony Gelonge, who then gets tackled into touch, unfortunately. 1 minute later though, Weenie Antonio gets France going forward, and Dupont passes to Cyril Bailly off the ruck, and Bailly gets only his second ever test try. Jaminet does finally miss a conversion though at this point, so the scoreline is 27-21 for France, and Ireland tries to make the kick-off before realising, sorry mate, Angus Gardner, the Australian ref, needs to change his whistle. I'm sure some of my fellow content creators will be able to spawn some very funny memes off this stuff. So Ireland go wide after a line out in the 58th minute in France's half, but they can't get the job done. James Ryan knocks on again. I think he made some good calls as a leader, but ultimately he's not a better player than Ian Henderson, because Ian Henderson seriously he should have started, even though he hasn't played a lot of rugby lately because of injury. The thing is, Ryan is powerful, he's good on the line out, and obviously I've said he's a good leader, but he just doesn't have those hands that I think locks are required to have nowadays. Locks really need the soft hands to get link-up passes going and stuff in the forwards. Ryan just does not have that skill, hence why I think he missed out on the Lions tour last year. Gatland is one of people with soft hands. Ryan, I think, even though he's still young, is a bit of an old school player, and he really needs to evolve his game to keep up with the times. Anyway, in the 62nd minute, a bit of a funny thing happens again. Crowd gets a bit angry. They think Tide Burn has obstructed Dupont, but he hasn't. Guys, chillax. Nothing wrong happened. 70th minute. Yeah, heaps of scrum resets until this point. was a bit boring because of that, but it's okay. That was followed by 3 straight minutes of open play. Antoine Dupont's then subbed off for Maxime Lucu, and Ficou takes over as captain. France are penalised in the ruck in the 72nd minute because Thibaut Flamand enters incorrectly. Conor Murray does step in to give James Ryan a hand to make the correct choice on this occasion as well. He says, look, let's take a shot at goal because the try will steer us clear of victory. And we'll be able to make it so that France can't win. Carberry kicks the penalty, so Ireland are behind by 3 points, and as I said, if they can score a try over here, that's the game won for them. It doesn't happen this way though, even though Maxime Lucu is the 16th player on the field for Ireland. Lucu in the 75th minute kicks away possession inside Ireland's half. Murray marks it, of course, and it's just utter stupidity considering the score and the time left. I'd never be happy with a player kicking away possession inside the opposition half A. In the 77th minute, while under advantage, France are finally able to get over the try line. Awesome pass by Romain Ntamack to Melvin Jaminet, who powers over. It's real unfortunate though, Dan Sheehan is ruled to have held him up though, and I thought, the cherry on the top for Jaminet's performance would have been that try. I would have awarded him as man of the match. They gave it to Gregory Aldret for his amazing defence, but I think it's a bad call. I would have gone with Jaminet all the way. So even though he doesn't get that try, he does get one more kick at the posts. The final score is 30-24. There's no further scoring after the 78th minute. And so quite a good victory for the French on this occasion. Well worth watching the game, guys? I do believe that now that they've beaten the Irish, France could have a realistic chance at winning a Grand Slam for the first time in 12 seasons. Let me know what you thought of this game as well in the comments, team, and if you're ever keen to follow me on Instagram, join my Discord server or anything, you can hit the links down below. I do have a website which is centered around New Zealand based articles and everything for now, non-profit as of now, so if you're ever keen to support financially, I've got the Patreon, a Subscribestar account, but if you ever want to do just something that's one-off, I do have just a PayPal button, kind of like a tip jar thing going. Goodness me, it's time for me to start editing this thing so I can get some sleep. Not enough for me. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Awesome game, and wow, France are incredible. Thanks for watching, team.